Hi everyone, and welcome to another episode of Trip Prime Multiverse with one of your hosts, the master of the kangaroo kick, Kyle Charles, and
oh yeah, and the one half of the components of a double clothesline, CY Chung.
And today we are reviewing AEW's first transatlantic event, which happened to be in our home city, to be fair.
Yep.
London.
Yep, which you went to.
Yep, I did. It was awesome.
Yep. Did you watch, by the way, did you watch it again of the off Fight TV?
Bits and bobs.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
Because Fight TV's terrible. All In 2023.
Let me ask you, by the way, because
Yep.
you're saying you only watch bits and pieces of Fight TV.
Yeah.
Now, when you say it's terrible, what do you mean? Like your
No,
connection?
No. Like, I'm watching it through my TV, and Fight TV on my TV is terrible. It keeps like
okay.
lagging out.
I thought you were having a I thought you were noting the the problems that they seem to have catching certain shots, right? Because something would happen, and just as that something would happen, they cut away to something that has actually happened, or the aftermath of something that's happened. So when they're doing stuff, it was especially apparent during the Stadium Stampede match.
Yeah,
because there's loads of stuff going on.
Yeah,
they kind of cut and miss time. There's certain moments that you never actually.
Yeah, that's bound to happen now. Yeah,
that was a bit weird. Yeah.
I had to warn my friend because I took a friend of mine who hasn't watched AEW.
Yeah,
and he ain't watched like wrestling in general in years. So I kind of warned him like, this match is going to be like a cluster. It's not going to make
well, no.
sense.
You can give his opinions of the matches as we go through them as well.
Yeah,
but it'd be one of those things where I guess you go to the guy to the side of you and go, so this is the background for this, because some stuff don't make... Like, actually, we'll get to the pre-show, because I did watch that, and I know you watched it, because you was there, right?
I was there, yeah.
Ring of Honor Tag Team Championships, Aussie Open champions, versus Adam Cole and NJF, who are the best buddies now.
Yeah, better than
you, baby. Yeah. I enjoyed it. It was a silly match, because that was what they went... No, hold on. Let me... Okay. This was more of a showcase for the storyline of Adam Cole and MJF, right?
Yep.
To solidify their friendship for what was going to happen for the world title match later on.
Yeah, that was.
So everything made sense. I just think that, and it was a short match as well. But I think Aussie Open just kind of had the short stick here because they knew their role.
Yeah.
But realistically, if Adam Cole and MJF didn't have a match later on, this could have been your main event or something like that, like a longer type of match. But it was fine for what it was meant to be.
Yeah, it's fine.
It was actually enjoyable for what it was actually.
Yeah. My only match itself, I liked it. My only problem with this sort of thing in general is you're bringing a well-known tag team into a storyline in which they played no part in it, realistically.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
That's the only beef with that.
Yeah.
And I think Aussie Open do deserve better.
Yep, they do.
Because I enjoy them. Right, they're pretty good. They're a pretty good tag team.
Yeah.
Even though Mark Fletcher looks like he's Mark, what's his name?
Mark Davis.
Mark Davis looks like he could be Carl Fletcher's dad.
Yeah. The worst thing about that is, that's what I was looking at just before we was talking about like this. I was wanting to see their ages. Like Mark Davis is only like 33.
He's only 10 years older than Carl Fletcher.
Yeah.
But yeah,
he looks like he's 40.
I don't know if Carl Fletcher looks extra young, but he does probably actually look his age, considering, when you watch all those teen programs and they're played by 24-year-olds as well. Yeah, so you just assume it. And then Mark Davis, because he looks like a veteran. Let me put it that way. Yeah.
Yeah, he just looks super old. I'm like, dude, you're not actually that old.
Yeah.
What is this?
So yeah. What did you think of the match? And then tell me what your friend thought of the match.
I thought it was good. I thought that they were gonna win Aussie Open. I thought it was gonna win.
Yeah.
But it didn't. So I was like, okay, makes kind of sense. Which plays out later, makes later a lot better. My friend enjoyed it. I just explained to him, so basically, these two are not friends, but then they became friends because they got the story made me made a tag team, and they won this tournament. Blah 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 blah. He's like, oh, okay, that's.
What do you think of the kangaroo kick and the double clothesline spots?
Oh, I had to explain that to him afterwards. Like, yeah, so basically, because I forgot about the kangaroo bit until I was like, yeah, so basically he said he's making a movie called the kangaroo kick. Kind of racist when you think about it. He's like, oh, okay, that makes sense. And then the double clothesline as well. I was like, yeah, and that's their finisher that they was hyping up all this time, and then he finally did it to win the title. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool.
I tell you what also got me that made me laugh as well, and this was unintentional, right?
Yeah.
So I think MJF was just taunting Mark Davis with the kangaroo kick or something like that, and Mark Davis went to swipe him over the ropes. And I think MJF, I think they were clearly meant to connect, yeah. But I don't know what happened. It didn't seem like how that Mark Davis actually connected with MJF, but because he tried so hard, kind of. He overweighted and tipped over the ropes, and then MJF had to fall on the floor. And then the commentary were like, "I think MJF's back seized up because he suddenly fell." I'm like, probably he got caught by a boot from when Mark Davis went over the thing. But it's just like commentary. You didn't help. You didn't help what was going on here.
Not at all.
When you were watching it live, did that stick out to you, or were you like, actually, because it could be in the camera angle and you didn't see. He didn't connect with his fist, probably, that he did try to, yeah. But when he went over, his foot might have hit MJF.
Nah, didn't even notice it, if I'm honest.
Okay, you just MJF just fell on the floor, and you were like, okay.
Yeah, I was like, okay, sure.
Yeah, all right.
It's wrestling, yeah, all right. Just carried on.
All right. Yeah, not surprised. Yeah, shrug wrestling, right?
Yeah, they're just like lols, yeah.
Yeah. All right. FTW Championship. Jack Perry versus Hook. Jack Perry being the champion. I enjoyed this match. It was short as well. I thought Jack Perry was going to win here, but he didn't.
Yeah, same.
But I knew exactly what this type of style it was going to be, and I think they did pretty well for the time they had, as well as where they were slotted. Because it's not even the main show yet, so you can't. No. And it was good that it was way early, because then later on. You can't match Stadium Stampede for this craziness.
No. Yeah. And the other 6-man tag later on. Yeah. It was a good match. I spent most of the match explaining who these two characters were to my friend. I was like, yeah, so basically, this is Taz's son, this is Luke Perry's son. You remember the actor? I was like, no. I was like, well, that's his son. I was like, oh, okay. My friend popped for the... Rolling Thunder on the car on it. Well, yep, that was cool. And
what about the fisherman suplex into the windshield?
Yeah, and that was like, that was stupid. Lucky these guys are still young, because
well, you say that, but I think they know what they're doing and how to do it. Though we could have, I don't know if it would have been better visual if you went through it, but I think it'd be better on their bodies that he didn't go through. He just cracked the windshield, and that was good enough for me. I was like, otherwise, if he went through it, both of them probably would have been shanks or something like that.
Yeah. I don't know, I just thought it was like, okay, I guess it makes sense, because this is sort of like a weird blood feud you guys have, but...
Yeah.
Alright, sure. Okay.
Yeah, I do have to say, I think Jack Perry's getting a bit more credibility now. He shrugged off the Jungle Boy persona, and he's been a bit more, I'm doing things my way, you know. Though, it doesn't make sense that he beat Christian Cage in a blood feud, where he was the babyface, and then later on he basically turned heel. Does it? I think he should just go back with Christian. Just be like, the blood feud, sweep under the carpet. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like, oh, he showed me the error of my ways. Let's be friends.
No, that. It's just like, you know how Christian Cage just blazes people's.
Yeah.
Fathers, right? Any wrestler doesn't have a father. Beware, Christian Cage will just blaze you, right?
Yeah, that's his weird fetish. Yeah.
And then Jack Perry could just basically turn and say, my dad was like, if he wanted to join Christian Cage, he'd be like, my dad was no good. Christian Cage, you are my actual dad, and then they could be back as a team. Yeah, or something like that.
It's easily done.
Mm-hmm. But I enjoyed it for what it was.
Yeah, for what it was.
All right. Hook got the tap out win. Do you think there are too many titles, by the way, in AEW at the moment?
Yes.
Yeah.
And
because they got Ring of Honor titles, which aren't. I mean, they're supposed to be Ring of Honor property, but they've used on AEW shows, so it's kind of a bit of a weird one.
Yeah.
Because they're also promoted and defended on those shows as well.
Yeah, that's where it's like it'd be like WWE kind of works having any titles because they've established that they're different brands, so you can sort of get around that whatever having so many titles per brand. But because they haven't really established that in AEW,
well, CM Punk, but when CM Punk has his way in there,
but even then, it still doesn't make.
Yeah, we'll have half the roster not working with him, and they'd be like, "Nah, forget that." And then you can separate the rosters.
Yeah, just something like that, and then bring in the Ring of Honor titles into like AEW as well. Yeah, it doesn't make. Yeah,
they should have been kept separate.
Yeah,
a bit more distinguishedly separate, anyway.
Yeah,
and then you got this unsanctioned FTW championship. So
yeah, well.
Yeah. And then you got the main card, right? But now you got the AEW Real World Championship, CM Punk, because he never got defeated, versus Samoa Joe.
Yep.
I enjoyed this match as well.
I did. I enjoyed the crowd because it was really funny. Because when Phil came out, everyone started booing.
Yeah.
And well, not everyone. Like a lot of people booing, and then the boos turned to them singing his song. It's like. I was one of those people like, they got me. I was booing, and then as soon as that song kicked in, I was all over it. But,
I liked it because CM Punk, he knows, I think he knows what he is at this point. He's derisive. What? Yeah. And people boo him, or people will like him. You know, he's got his fans and he's got his haters. Yeah.
Yeah.
But he seems to be enjoying having the matches that he's having. Yeah. He has started doing send-ups to John Cena and Hogan in the middle of his match. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he was doing the 5 Minutes of Doom, then he did the You Can't See Me, and then did the Hogan ear cup.
Yeah.
Leg drop. And then when Joe kicked out, then the whole cup, you. Yeah. Like, all right. But at the beginning of this match, what's it called? It started pretty high, high intensity, because he was just flinging, Joe was just flinging CM Punk into the, announcer's table.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Sending it bleeding right away. I wasn't having too much high expectations for these guys, because I know they got injuries and they're like into their mid-40s, right?
Yeah.
But I enjoyed it. They knew, like, they I think they worked around whatever they needed to, and they wasn't going to be too over the top or too brutal with what they're doing. Joe looks good. In the feet, and then he got his and then he got hit with he would try to go for the muscle buster, got hit with the Pepsi plunge. Yeah,
which I was like, oh, that's cool. I haven't seen that move in a while, and I remember why.
Mm-hmm.
But
and like Punk got beat up, so he kind of it helped Joe get. Well, I'm gonna say Joe's already over, but it didn't make it look like he was a decisive win, if you know what I mean. Like, no. It was more, things were more going Samoa Joe's way than not. However, because he was the Ring of Honor Television Championship, and Punk's got to have his unification world title match with somebody, whoever's going to be the champion at some point, he kind of telegraphed the result.
Yeah. Literally, as soon as this match happened, I went to my friend, explained, actually, no, he knows who Samoa Joe and Punk is.
Yeah.
And I was like, by the way, Samoa Joe's losing. He's like, oh, okay, makes sense. Yeah. We just moved on. just moved on. I was like, yeah, that's what it is. I enjoyed the match. I always enjoy a Joe match, so it was great.
Okay, Hangman Page, Kenny Omega, Kota Ibushi versus Jay White, Juice Robinson, and Konosuke Takeshita. Now, Takeshita's music, I don't think suits the. Like, it needs a bit more hype. That's all. It
leaves a lot to be desired. It's not all. I was like,
it's got like that kind of classical music build, but then there's no point where it starts hitting the more rock kind of or the more anime style. Power up spot.
Yeah,
kind of thing.
It was kind of like, it'll happen any minute now. Oh no, okay, we're starting the match.
Still waiting, but all right.
Sure, maybe his entrance needs to be longer so that hit kicks in. I don't know.
Yeah,
it's really weird.
Yeah, I enjoyed this match I as well, because like what Jay White is good. Is always good. Kenny Omega, Kota Ibushi, Hangman's always good.
Yeah.
Juice Robinson's a bit over the top, and Kaneshke, Takesha, they're building him up for something. So,
yeah, he's gonna be replacing Kenny in it, but can't really replace Kenny.
We'll get into the all out lineup afterwards.
Oh yeah.
But yeah. I think like this seemed to be a match that was progressing the other the Thingy Jig feud, the Kenny and Kaneshka feud.
Yes. It seemed like Bullet Club Gold was just thrown in this to be thrown in it.
Yeah, but they're good workers. That's the thing.
But like,
right? I think they should be more. They shouldn't be where they are.
No, like there's more to this story they could add to. Because like when you think about it, Bullet Club in general and the Elite have a big connection.
Yeah.
Because without Bullet Club, there'll be no Elite. Yeah. So like you could work that story into it, but it was like, I hired these guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, cool. Exactly. They need to be. It's just like they had the easy route to go, and then they'd be like, actually, well, you know what? We're gonna do something else. And you're like,
yeah,
you know,
it's like like you said, there's like the obvious story you have there, but like, no, we're gonna do this. Like, wait, okay.
Yeah, even if you argue that Juice Robinson and the Guns don't really have much to do with the Elite, and Jay White took over from them, so but it's just like, you know, it's Jay White, and then you say Jay White's backup and his buddies, and then you've got, you know,
yeah, like there's so many things, but they've kind of hinted to as well, like you kind of like if you want to do Bullet Club Gold Elite beef, you've already got the Guns who said that they're the best brother tag team in AEW, so that's their shot at the Elite. I mean, not the Elite, sorry, at the Young Bucks, and all that, and then it's like story there, but it's just, oh no, Don Callis hired us for reason.
Yeah, I did enjoy it though. I did enjoy it. Like, Juice Robinson's antics, right? But yeah, they he was and all the pops for the all the faces and stuff.
Yeah. No, it was really.
But there was the finish was a roll up pin, Takeshka roll up pin Kenny Omega, and then his music played like we were saying, and it was taking ages to get. It was like this music started and we haven't got to. Yeah, it was just like weird, like to play out, you know.
It feels like his music is like placeholder music till they find something.
Yeah, or if it was like you know, when you have that intro section of your music when you're coming out, right?
Yeah.
But when you win, you just kind of jump to more.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was just like when they was holding their hands in victory and stuff like that, and then his classical music thing was still playing. I was like, all right,
it's weird.
I would have preferred, I think, if Takeshka actually got a proper straight up pin on Kenny Omega.
Nah, not in a 6-man tag.
Well, that's what I'm saying. He could do it in a 6-man tag because they're gonna have their 1-on-1 later on.
But then it's like kind of like, then what's the point having the 1-on-1 if I got a clean pin?
No, you didn't. You beat him in a multi-man match.
Yeah, but still, if you hit him with your finisher and then cleanly pinned him, you basically beat him. Like,
yeah. But then he's out for revenge, of course, in the singles match.
You got, especially if it's like meant to be some weird torch passing thing, and he's like.
Well, I don't necessarily know if they're going to go that way or not, but I think if there was they could have. I feel like if Kenny got singled out and then got triple teamed for a bit, and then he gets his hope spot by having a fight back with all three of them, and then he gets hit with a finish, then you'd be like, yeah, okay, makes sense.
But then it kind of takes away the whole point of All In.
Yeah, but that's where you go into the singles match thing. You guys triple teamed me, whatever. But yeah, no. You were fine with the roll up pin.
Yeah, because it's like that's something. Kesh can go, haha, I pinned you, but Kenny's like, no, you didn't. You got the slump away.
Yeah. Well, I'm thinking if he pinned him, then it gives more fuel to the fire for Don Callis to say, we already beat you. We don't even want to have another match with you. And then,
but you can say that through this cheating where he did it. You can say that.
Yeah.
So it's one.
It's true. All right. Yeah, but what did you and your friend think of the match?
Yeah, he liked it. I really enjoyed it because Jay White and Kenny are both in it, two of my favourites.
Yeah.
And I spent a lot of the match explaining how Kota Ibushi is a weird person in a good way. I was saying to my friend, like, so basically he does lots of mad stuff. He shot fireworks at himself. Also, I believe he's an alien. And I was like, wait, okay, what? Yeah. And I'd explained to him about how Kota Ibushi believes that he lives in a 27 hour
25
day.
hour.
That's it, yeah.
25-hour day, because if he stays up for 25 hours, he lives his life in 25 hours, even though there's only 24 hours a day, which means that his sleep must be an hour later each time, which,
Okay, sure. Yeah. Not sure that's how time works, but all right.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess. But yeah. Great match. I loved it. All
right. AEW World Tag Team match, the FTR versus the Young Bucks. FTR being the champions.
Yep. F the Revival.
Yeah. I find it's quite enjoyable. A lot of finishes happening towards the end of it.
Yeah.
Which I was like, okay, fair enough. But I was like, I like, at least it was like they kicked out of each other finishes, so you were like, okay, so then maybe the next finisher will do it, or next finisher after that, you know?
Yes.
It wasn't like, okay, so this person did their finish, right, and they kicked out of it, which must mean next time someone else does their finish.
Yeah. Like, being there, the crowd got really into it, because like all the cool force finishes, I was like, oh wow, maybe this is the one. No, it's not. Scream. Yeah, it was a cool atmosphere. Like, it was lots of times I thought, okay, because I went in thinking, the Young Bucks gonna win.
Yeah. And
then there was points I was like, oh, they're gonna do it. They're actually gonna do it. And then they didn't. And then FTR did. I was like, oh wow, that was an emotional roller coaster for me. I'm spent. I'm tired now. Yeah. It was. Yeah. Literally, I was like, wow. Oh.
Yeah, I see. When FTR did the what's it called, the BTE trigger, and then the Shatter Machine afterwards, and then which was it Matt that kicked out?
Because because when he kicked out. Oh, sorry,
go on.
No,
I was gonna say when they hit the BTE trigger, and then you can kick out from that. Fair enough, yeah. But then they hit Gunn and he kicked out, and then they hit Shatter Machine and he kicked out of it. I was like, oh, I don't know about that one.
I didn't mind it, because I just spoke to my friends, like, they're the first people I do believe have kicked out the Shatter Machine. I was like, really? I was like, no one does that. That means that this match is awesome, and then, they won. Because they kicked out of... Because Young Bucks gave them the Shatter Machine as well.
Yeah,
which looked pretty cool. I knew if the Young Bucks hit the Meltzer driver, then, they would have won, but... Because that's a move that no one kicks out as well, and that's quite protected. Yeah.
But it was cool. Lots of false finishes, like big move to false finish kickouts and stuff. Yeah. And then the Young Bucks got a bit sour because FTR put their hands out to shake, and then the Young Bucks are like, nah.
They're like, nah, you guys are weird CM Punk fans. We're going.
Which is why we're waiting for the Elite versus CMFTR is what they call them, right?
Yeah.
For the trios tag title, what's it called? Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think that's happening anytime soon. But yeah. Because that'd be an awkward match, to be fair.
Well, no. You trade out Kenny for Hangman Page, and then it's an awkward match.
Yeah, good point. Yeah. Because that seems to be where the beef is more. Those three seem to be the ones having more beef with Punk.
Yeah, even though you could say it's more one-sided beef, because I think Hangman Page is like, whatever.
Yeah, he's
I'm not. He's just being sour, and I'm just gonna live my life.
Yeah, I'm not a bitter old man. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. All right, Stadium Stampede, which the best friends, which are Trent Beretta and Chuck Taylor.
Yep.
And then you got Eddie Kingston and Orange Cassidy and Penta L0.
Yep.
Is there a Meadow?
Yeah.
Penta, right? We're just going with
Zero Mero. Yeah.
Versus the Blackpool Combat Club, which is John Moxley, Claudio Castagnelli, Wheeler Yuta. Yep. And then you got, what do you want to call them, LAX, even though they're not? Santana and
LAX
Ortiz.
or Mike Santana now and Ortiz.
Yeah.
Or Pride and Powerful, the name they tried, which never went off.
Yeah. And which is funny because I think Eddie Kingston and Santana and Ortiz were LAX for a certain point in TNA, right?
Yep. Yes, they were.
Yeah. I have to say, okay. It was definitely a change in direction of what was usually going on in this show. This match, right? Certain things in this match, I was like, especially when John Moxley got the skewers, and I was gonna be like, if he stuck it in Penta's head, fine, because the mask, you dig into the mask. No, he's got the screw stuck in his own head, and then when they all when Penta let go of them, they all kind of, most of them fell, but you had to a good couple stuck in Moxley's head, which was sticking out, and then he went to give him, what's it called? That kind of half Nelson pile driver move.
Oh, wait.
I can't remember who does as well. I can't remember what it's called. But yeah, and I was like, oh, don't land on your head. Not even don't land on your head, but them skewers, right? Yeah. Hopefully they don't. They you clear the ground. Completely.
I'm trying to remember.
Yeah, I did not like that spot. It looked nasty.
See, a lot of this match, because I told my friend this is gonna be a cluster. I'm not really bothered about it. I'm going to quickly go to the merch store and get my Bullet Club Gold t-shirt.
Yeah.
And get drinks. So I went and did that. And in that short, 5-minute period, lots of that stuff happened. The Sue coming out and her van happened.
Yeah, by the way, what is that about?
Oh, because that's her thing, innit? She just comes out. Because I remember one of their beefs years ago with someone. They mocked Sue, Trent's mom. And then she came with the van.
Okay.
Something. Yeah. So there's like a running thing with them. Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
So yeah, that happened. And the bit where Penta disappeared and then came back as Penta Aguera, whatever it is, when he's darker.
The pink Penta, right?
Yeah. And I was like, oh, okay. Because I missed all that. Because I watched it again on the Fight TV. I was like, oh, that's what my friend said. Because my friend got confused. Went, then some guys in red came out and they did something and it disappeared. I was like, wait, what?
Also, I thought it was Penta's brother. Because I was like, wait a minute. He's wearing black a minute ago.
Yep. I was like, okay. I'm going to...
Yeah, and they did. I'm not sure if you might have missed it, but they tried to climb on the ladder for a spot.
I saw that bit. Yep.
Yeah, and then the ladder crunched, and so then they had another guy hold the ladder. I can't remember which one of the henchmen or whatever. Right? They hold the ladder for the sunset powerbomb, sunset flip powerbomb spot.
Yeah, it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, but OC went full kickboxer. Crunched on glass into a bucket. Yeah. Put some double-sided tape on his fist, and then put the glass on it. And I'm like, all right, well,
This is when he became Doc Cassidy. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what commentary said or something, isn't it? Yeah. I was like, oh, okay, that's
cool. So yeah, it was he. I think he was going to hit someone with it, and then Moxley got in the way.
Yeah.
And then Eddie Kingston pounced Moxley through. Black fisted Moxley and Claudio.
Yeah.
And then he pounced Moxley through the table, and then when Claudio got up, Orange Cassidy gave him the orange punch through the glass shards. Yeah.
I liked how he sold that though. Claudio, because it was like he just stiffened up when he hit the floor.
Yeah. What was cool, like you point out as well, right? You know how usually when people lie down flat,
yeah.
He sold it when you've been knocked out and you kind of in that half.
Your body sort of seizes up in it.
Yeah. You're slightly arched position.
Yeah.
I
was like, that's cool.
So
that's cool.
it's good on that. I was like, oh yeah. But now I didn't know who was gonna. I didn't go in there thinking whoever was gonna win, right? But I was like, geez, you people. I mean, this match, this sort of stuff makes me grimace sometimes because it's like not the glass shot, the glass punch thing, right? Because that's all right. It's just like Moxley, you're like, please,
Yes, some things don't do, dude.
Yeah. Exactly.
It's like,
maybe you should have all the skewers pulled out of your head first before you get to the the half Nelson driver thing.
Because like a lot of like I like John Moxley, I like his wrestling and everything.
Yeah.
But then sometimes when he do the hardcore bits like this, I'm like, okay, you're AEW, right?
Yeah.
You're by default the second biggest wrestling company in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, I'll say, yeah, you're on par with like New Japan, because I'll say New Japan's second. But anyway, yeah. And then you do things like this, which you see in like poxy little, no disrespect,
Yeah.
like backyard wrestling sort of things. And you're doing it on like this grand, well-produced stage. It kind of brings it down.
Now, here's the other thing as well. If they got some of them for wrestling light tubes and started hitting each other with it...
I'll be out. Yeah.
But in the Stadium Stampede match, it is what it is.
Yeah.
You know, it's... I don't mind it if it's in those sort of matches.
Yeah, no, I don't mind when he does it.
Yeah.
If it's every now and then, I don't mind it. But when it's like all the time, like, oh, come on, man.
Yeah.
This is taking the wind out of the sails here, you know.
Yeah. But I think they have to do more wacky, more brutal stuff, maybe, for Stadium Stampede matches. When you're like, maybe you don't have to, you know.
But you know what I found funny about this match in general? Like, okay, didn't recently they just have like Anarchy and Reno?
Yeah.
They're both basically the same match.
Yeah.
So why, like, in the space of 2 months, I want to say, you're having the same match, basically.
Yeah.
I guess only because, you know, they was in Wembley Stadium and they had to sort of do something, I guess.
Yeah, I think they sometimes you think because it's a major event or something, they are going to pull out all the stops.
Yeah.
But you don't, it's like, yeah, but sometimes yes and sometimes no.
Yeah.
And in a hardcore match, you know, it's you're going to have repercussions to your physicality after that.
Yep. Because, like, they could have... Well, I'll say later something they could have changed about this whole event. But yeah, I guess... Yeah, it was... The only thing I missed with this match was Pac.
Yeah. This match exactly was what it was.
Yeah.
And what you expect it to be.
A
as far as that goes.
nightmare. That's what it was.
Yeah. That as well, right? So yeah, it's not my style of match.
Yeah.
I did like it.
I enjoyed it.
Like it.
Like it's not my style of match.
At certain points, certain things I did like. There was like more ups and downs for me. But there's certain things I'm just like, for your own safety, people, you just
wheel it in a bit. Yeah.
All right. Women's World Championship match. Hikaru Shida, champion, versus Britt Baker versus Saraya versus Toni Storm. Now, Saraya coming out with Queen We Will Rock You music, as well as her entire The Night Clan. Right?
See.
Yeah.
When that song came out, sorry, when she came out to that song, I knew what was happening next. But yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And then the other thing is, when Toni Storm coming out with her new gimmick of being a 1920s Hollywood star. I don't know exactly, but
yeah.
So that's what I'm getting.
But funny thing you say that. People in the crowd were so confused by it because like she came out and everyone's like, "Wait, what?" And no one really cheered. When I was watching it back, because oh wow, no one. That's kind of weird. I
think it's because it's more recent that she did the change.
Yeah,
and people don't know what to make of it. I get it though. I have to say I enjoy it because it's silly.
Yeah,
right? I mean that they're all in sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I guess one of her theme songs are something that you can get behind, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're like, oh, okay, I'm confused. Oh, it's Toni Storm. Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
It's literally what it was.
So I think the story of this match was that the Outcasts, which are Saraya and Toni Storm, working together until they weren't.
Yeah.
And then it built to the tension there because Sweet Saraya, Paige's mum, held Britt Baker for Storm to hit, right? And then Britt Baker, obviously, because you know what's going to happen, right, when people help. Britt Baker gets out of the hold and Toni Storm smacks the mother. And then Sweet Saraya's like, all right, I'll come out and fight you as well. You know, she tried to fight Toni Storm, and then Paige ran out there. What are you doing? Stuff like that.
Yeah.
To Toni Storm, and then the crack in the friendship. Yeah. And then and then there was a really cool spot where Paige had what's it called? Was it Toni? Yeah, in the Paige.
Oh, the PTO.
Yeah, which is like a sharpshooter double arm underhook thing.
Yeah.
And then Britt Baker went and did the stomp of that, and I'm like, wow, Toni Storm had nothing to brace her. She just took
bang.
it. No, she just took it, but she went straight down. You know, she didn't have her arms to brace it or whatever like that. And I know obviously Britt Baker did not put any force behind that stomp, because otherwise it would have really done something.
Yeah.
They just let gravity do the job.
Because even my friend was like, "Oh, that looked bad." It's like, yeah, it's not as bad as, but yeah, she had.
No, it looked great though. It did look great.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Ruby Soho came down, tried to stop the Outcasts from turning on themselves. But in the end, Britt Baker had Hikaru Shida locked in the Rings of Saturn.
Yeah.
And then she tried. What did she call it?
I don't actually know what she called it.
Yeah, because I know it's not the lockjaw until she puts the mandible claw in.
Yeah.
So just goes. But as she's doing that, and Hikaru Shida's kind of trying to get to ropes to kind of spin around slightly so they don't see what's going on behind them, right?
Yeah.
Which is Toni Storm trying to run to break up, and then Saraya sprays Toni Storm in the face with the spray paint.
Yeah.
And then hit the PTO or the nightcap.
Oh, it's called a Rampage.
Is it the Rampage?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they call it the nightcap now.
Yeah. Get it, Night, because she's from the Knight family. Get it?
Yeah.
Get it?
Yeah,
Spelled with a K. Get it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And Saraya got the win.
Yeah.
Like, all right. Well, Hikaru Shida could have had a longer reign, but
Soon as this match, like I said, when she came out to We Will Rock You, went to my friend, she's winning. I was like, what? That explained to her, I was like, yeah, so Shida only won the belt like a couple of days ago. I say a couple of days, 25 days ago. So yeah, she's not winning. He's like, oh, okay. And then even the guy next to me was like, yep, you're right. And then what happened? Boom.
Yeah.
But I get it.
Now, I think that even though Toni Storm had it and Hikaru Shida won it off her, right?
Yeah.
They could have just done the, what's it called? They didn't need the transition, I don't think.
No,
they could have just done it without. They could have done without it going to Hikaru Shida. Saraya could have just won it here.
Yeah.
Doing the same story.
Yep. Would have made no difference.
Yeah.
No difference whatsoever.
Mm-hmm. And the other thing is like how basically, I don't know if they're going to break up or not the Outcasts. We'll see at some point, right?
Yeah.
But they kind of, if they did, they just went fast forward. Because the breakup happened in the entire match, but only about 9 minutes long.
Yeah. And this is a weird problem that I kind of have with AEW as well.
Yeah.
Lots of stables don't last that long.
Yeah.
And they fall apart over weird little things. Like no build-ups like this. You're like, oh, okay. This is weird. So that R.I.P. The social outcasts, I guess. Yeah.
Look, it was a fine match. It was a fine match.
Yeah, the match was great.
But
it was predictable.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, even though I was thinking maybe not, right? Even though in my head I was like, not because I didn't want Paige to win anything. It was just like Hikaru Shida just won it. So are they actually going to do a title change right away?
Yeah, because it doesn't mean anything.
However, if Jamie Hayter was able to go, this would have come out differently.
Yeah.
Jamie Hayter probably would have got the win.
Yeah.
Like, not in the match, but if she came in there here with the title that if she didn't get her injury, I think, she would have probably won the match that she was in.
Yeah, same.
But, all right. Okay, coffin match. Christian Cage and Swerve Strickland versus Darby Allin and Sting. Now Sting come out to the Metallica music.
Yep.
I was like,
WCW. That was a thing, remember? Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, when they started playing and they started coming out, I was like, this sounds familiar.
Same, because I looked at my friend and was like, wait. Yeah. And because he doesn't know about Sting having that in WCW because he watched WCW. And then I turned to the guy next to me. He's like, "Yeah, it is." I was like, "Okay, cool. You know. So then everyone started singing. Yeah, man, it was Sting. And the little vignette video when they was in apparently Whitechapel, I was like, that's not Whitechapel. But
yeah. There's some dark alleyway that they just decided
generic
to
alleyway
dress
in
up.
London. Yes.
And then, but I like the okay. Now I like first of all, I like it. It wasn't the Darby Allin suicide video. However,
yeah, good point.
They could have continued walking because Sting was kind of just like Jack the Ripper. And if they went some dark alleyway, and the camera cut, and then Darby Allin's walking with Sting, the camera cut, and then you see Sting just with a knife and Darby Allin never to be seen. Could have just
yeah. They could have done so much, but it was good. It was hilarious. I was like, this is so weird.
So, and they made sure to shoot from the side where Sting. So he has normal Sting makeup on one side of his face, and that's the side they catch him on. And then when he finally turns to full screen, he's got the other half of his face is Sting Joker face.
Yeah, Joker Sting. Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, okay, nicely done there.
Yeah, good on them.
I enjoyed this match as well. I thought like this match is not going to take seriously, which it wasn't, right?
Yeah.
Father of the Year, Christian Cage. Like by Nigel McGuinness's commentary, I knew exactly what I was in for, and I was like, yeah, all right, I get it. Did you watch this match again?
I watched this match again. Yeah.
Yeah, Nigel McGuinness is great. Just backing up Christian Cage all the way for no reason whatsoever.
For no reason. Like, he's won Father of the Year. He paid for his daughter to come in here with his own money. He's like, that's what you do as your child, right?
Yeah.
And he goes, bye, man. And who is it? Goes, but we haven't seen his kids. Like, yeah, well, because of like the free changes, and she's got to spend like 10 hours in Amsterdam. So she'll be arriving here on Monday. I was like, this is so stupid. I love this. Oh, this is great.
Yeah. But yeah. Like, I don't want to like. It wasn't a comedy match, right? It definitely was that, but it was the type of match that you would expect what they were doing with the coffin match. It was kind of silly in places, but then it's part of the joke, you know.
Yeah.
So I didn't have any problems with this match. I was like, yeah.
It was like a spectacle match. That's the best way of putting it.
Yeah. Well, I'd probably argue the Stadium Stampede is more of a spectacle style match. Though this is like where Darby Allin is trying to shorten his career style match.
Oh, like every match, yeah.
Where he's jumping on doing a coffin drop on the coffin.
Yeah.
All right.
Irony, yeah.
Yeah.
The coffin flop.
Yeah. It didn't seem like a blood feud, right, or anything like that. It just seemed like these guys, they're doing what they're doing, and they enjoying it.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know how much Darby Allin's enjoying being reckless like that, but that's that. Sting hit a Scorpion Death Drop on top of a coffin. Wait, it was Swerve Strickland on it, and I was like, oh, right. And then they tucked Swerve. He did a coffin drop on Swerve Strickland in the coffin.
Yeah.
Onto the coffin, and then put him into the coffin.
Swerve Strickland was in the coffin trying to get out, and he was like kind of halfway out, and then Darby coffin dropped on Swerve while he was half out of the coffin, and that hurt him, and then Sting kind of like pushed him in fully and closed it. Very painful looking.
Yeah. But I thought this was a fun match.
Yeah, it was great.
It wasn't crazy or anything like that. But then again, how do you compete with Stadium Stampede? And I think it was placed in a good place afterwards, anyways, because they couldn't match the craziness of that, and they were trying to go for a different style of match, anyways. Yeah. It was like, and Sting being able to do Sting's greatest hits still, that's something.
Yeah, 60 odd years old. Yeah, man, it was good on him. I was surprised.
Chris Jericho versus Will Ospreay. I wouldn't even say for the UK heavyweight title because it's not.
Yeah, it's just a match.
Yeah. Or the IWGP US title, which Will Ospreay's turned into the UK title.
Yeah.
What's it called? Jericho singing himself out.
Yeah. Yeah, a mini little fuzzy concert of all of a minute and a half, I think it was. Yeah. Good on him.
And then Will Ospreay coming out to Elevated, which I think some people sang, but I don't think everyone knew the words to.
Yeah, I sung the bits I knew, like elevated, that's the only part I know, and whoa.
Yeah.
And then the bit where it goes off spray. That's the only bits I knew. But yeah.
Yeah. But I enjoyed this match as well.
Yeah, it was a good match.
Yeah. Not to say like Chris Jericho's getting up in the years, so you can only expect so much of him. But actually, he was doing more than I expected of him.
Yes.
As far as competing with Will Ospreay, because Will Ospreay's nuts, right? There was a German suplex to the apron, and some things you're like, oof, you know?
Yes. There's lots of bits like, why would you do this?
Yeah.
Like both of them. It's like, like Jericho because of his age, and Will's like, you had health scares recently, saying like basically, you may be paralyzed soon if you keep the way you're going. But yeah, cool.
Yeah. I like the way they built the feud. Basically, it was like Jericho saying, "Look, I called you. I got your number from whoever I could, just to tell you to slow down. Otherwise, you'll end up in a wheelchair. Yeah. I was trying to look out for you, and then what you're trying to do is use me as a stepping stone for your career. No, you should thank me. You shouldn't be against me at all." I was like, all right. I get. And then Will Ospreay going, bruv, and I was like,
you know what?
Wait a minute.
That promo, it's weird, because like I've heard a lot of American people say, "Yeah, that promo was great and everything."
Yeah.
But I don't know because we're from England.
Yeah.
It just took me out of it.
I have to say, okay, this if you separate into parts, yeah, the passion and the fire they delivered it, is great, yeah, that's what you would want, yeah. It's just that Will Ospreay's persona was like you know them kind of football hooliganish, and you're like, I don't know how I think about that, especially when he didn't come out in his Commonwealth Kingpin style gear.
No, came out in like a football football jersey and jogging bottoms and a hat. Like
it's like and gold chain. I'm like, well, okay.
This is stereotype Essex person, but all right.
Yeah.
And it just took me out of him. Like, I get it's meant to be passion and everything, but when I hear someone in England talk like that, I just think you're an idiot.
Yeah, the thing is, if he was dressed more suitable, then you would have been like, 100% behind it.
Yeah.
He just because the way he's dressed and the way he overdoes the bruv, even though I believe that's on purpose, right?
Yeah, but it just, to me, that comes off like someone who you don't know what you're saying. So you know, like bruv's a filler word.
Yeah.
That's how it comes off to me as well. It's like it just sounds like a filler word that you're trying to think of something to say, but you don't know what to say, so you're gonna use this word while you're thinking what you're gonna say.
Yeah. I get what
I mean, that's how it felt like. Like, oh god, just all right, sure, okay, I get it.
But to the match itself, what did you think?
I really enjoyed it.
Like
I said before, actually going into this, I was like, I don't know how I feel about this match because I remember like Chris Jericho versus Naito or one of his matches with Kenny, and it was like where he was trying to keep up, and it looked like he was trying to keep up.
Yeah.
And this one, it was the opposite. Like, oh, okay, Chris Jericho is keeping up with this dude. Obviously, they probably slowed down what they was doing and stuff, but it didn't seem like he was out of his league.
Yeah, I think personally, but I obviously if they did it, then it's well disguised, and if they didn't do it, well, that's me wrong. But it seemed like Ospreay, the way they paced the match was for the benefit of Chris Jericho.
Yeah.
Though Will Ospreay sold them Judas effects really well. The spinning back heel. Like if people sold it like that, I get it, right?
Yeah.
But it just doesn't look like a great finishing maneuver.
Yeah, it depends who takes it sometimes.
Yeah. It's like the Rainmaker, right? Most of the time people do them over the top backwards flips. Yeah. Sometimes people just take a bump and like Big Bad Luck Fale, and you're like, it doesn't look great.
Yeah.
Though, would you say the Judas effect would be better if you added a ripcord in front of it?
Nah, because it makes it more convoluted.
Yeah, but then again, I say that. Yeah, Brody Lee did the discus clothesline with a ripcord as well, which I did actually. I agree with. I think that looked convoluted. So I guess the Judas effect with a ripcord would actually look convoluted as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think Cassius Ono, or should I say Chris Hero, pretty sure he did a ripcord into a back elbow and looked so weird.
Okay.
And Moose does like his Rainmaker where he pulls him in, spins him out, he spins and discus clothesline. It just looks so like too many things going on at once.
It's fair enough. Yeah. But yeah, Will Ospreay, Stormbreaker, Hidden Blade, and pinning Jericho. Yes. Great, good stuff. It's kind of the level I expected because I wasn't expecting not necessarily too much, but not to the levels of where Will Ospreay was having a match with Kenny Omega, right?
Yeah.
But I know how Chris Jericho can go, so it was like, it matched my expectations. Which were pretty decently, I want to say super high, but high enough.
Yeah. Even though it's another match, I already knew the winner from when this match got announced. It was like, yep.
Yeah, but then that's only because it was Will Ospreay in the UK. Let me put it this way though, when Chris Jericho, when Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay were having a match in Canada, Will Ospreay won. So you never know.
Yeah, but like, okay, but for that one, it kind of made sense for what it was going with. Yeah.
But especially since Will was having the coming out with the UK World Championship, right?
Yeah, but just.
And it was in England, and it was the first AEW, and it was Wembley Arena, and it was 80,000 people. So Jericho. Look, he's a guy up the ladder who could take the loss.
Yeah. It does nothing from at this point.
Yeah.
Not gonna hurt.
I mean, everyone's already back behind Will Ospreay.
Yeah.
So losing to Will Ospreay doesn't damage you. Much.
Nah.
Though I will say, Chris Jericho. After the match, Sammy Guevara tried to help him. Actually, no. So Jericho had the Walls of Jericho on Will Ospreay, and Sammy Guevara hit him with a baseball bat, whatever it was.
Hit him with something.
Yeah. And then Will wasn't knocked out from it, which was because they tried to do the two arm arm drop thing, which was weird because Will had to set it while his arm was still flopped, but it not in front. It wasn't in front of him. It was underneath Chris Jericho. So when Aubrey Edwards had to drop the arm, it was like, where is it?
Yeah, awkward.
Yeah, because he couldn't do the thing where he clutches and then raises his hand or anything there because it's underneath him.
Yeah.
If anything, she should have went the other arm, but I think at the position she was at, she couldn't just stop and turn around and go to the other side of him. So they had to work with what they were at that moment.
See, it's just.
The thing is, though, I thought because one of those things where, when you get if you in MMA when you see it where they get knocked out, right? But when they hit the floor, they revive.
Yeah.
So I thought if thing was going to hit, if Sammy Guevara was going to hit Will Ospreay with something, at least give him the opportunity to be back up from it or something like that, rather than he's in a submission and you're like, well, how's he gonna get out of this?
Yeah.
If anything, I thought, maybe if he hits him with that and then he's knocked out in submission, fair enough. But that wasn't going to happen because the power of the people of England.
Of England, yeah. They're not going to let any of that happen. Oh, okay.
Yeah. AEW Trios Championship. The House of Black, the champions, versus the Acclaimed with Billy Gunn.
Yeah. Badass Billy Gunn. Yes.
Yeah. Once again, I enjoyed this match for what it was and who was in it. So not to say, you should taper your expectations, but when you look at the people involved, sometimes you'd be like, okay, my expectations are set at this point.
Yeah.
And it was what it was.
Yeah, man. It was.
The only thing the only thing that I have to point out here that I didn't like was when Julia Hart came in there, and Billy Gunn kind of she swore at him, I think.
Yeah.
And then he gave her the DX crotch chop, and then he grabbed her feet to tip her down, right?
Yeah.
On her back.
Yeah.
And then what's his name? Max Caster grabbed her other leg, and then they were going to do the leg drop into her the scissor crotch. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now when he grabbed her leg, right? She fell on her back, fine. But she wasn't doing, how other people would, right? They flail their hands, going, no. No, she just lay there.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right. I mean,
that's very.
Yeah. I think she needed to do something like interactive somehow.
Yeah.
Because some people get in positions where they get moves done to them, but they don't really like. I don't even remember. I think it was Chris Jericho versus John Cena for the title way back when 2005 maybe.
Yeah.
And Jericho got in the position to get the attitude adjustment, and he was flailing around while in that position.
Yeah.
And you know how some people just lay there, just wait for the push, and then they do the flip. But he was like, oh, not that he was actively trying to get out because then you try to elbow in the head. But you know, when you're caught in something and you're like, oh, flailing, there's something to it rather than I'm here to take this move next. You know? Yeah. And it's not it's what gets me when people get put into tombstone position, right? So why are you gonna wrap your hands around another guy's waist?
Yeah. But
I know it's for the part of the move, but wouldn't you kick your legs, right? Because you're hooking around the waist. Then the logic is, you're trying to like flip the move over, so you can, that's why you've gripped them around the waist. You're trying to hope for a reversal, even if you're never going to do it, right? But then there's something to it, It's rather than why would another man grab your waist? It makes no sense. Especially when the Undertaker used it as the American Badass. He took them, then he'd let go and do the double thumbs down.
Yeah.
While they're still gripped around him. Yeah. Anyways, aside from that.
Yep. Aside from that.
Yeah, this match was, all about, I think, getting Billy Gunn his last title run.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they made sure, I think, the House of Black didn't look bad going down because they took a couple of Fame Masters and stuff like that. So, yeah.
Yeah, it was a believable loss. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Then you got Wembley telling Billy Gunn to do the super scissors afterwards.
Yeah. Scissor me, daddy. Yeah. But it was. And again, this was kind of an obvious one as well. Like, who was gonna win?
You thought you thought this was an obvious who was gonna win?
Yeah.
Which is only because Billy Gunn was contemplating retirement as far as the storyline is concerned at that point.
One of it, but also I just thought, okay, because it's, he's... I don't know, maybe because it just felt like it's like, okay, House of Black had the title for a while, so... Yeah.
Well, it's not that long, actually.
Isn't it?
Well, no, actually, no. To be fair, they probably had the longest title reign with their trios titles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, that is true. Yeah, so I just thought, it'll be done in a bit. So they were. So I was like, okay.
Yeah. Okay, AEW World Championship match, MJF the champion versus Adam Cole. Now, this match, right, is 100% sports entertainment storytelling drama match. I'll put it that way. Because it was not so much as what moves are happening in the ring. It was why they were doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is true. Yes.
And all that style of showmanship. Because then they're best friends, and then MJF started going a bit MJF-y, eye pokes, and then Adam Cole was like, well, if you're going to heal me, I'm going to heal you.
Yeah, let's see who can out-heal who, but still stay friends. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. I found that Adam Cole toned down his showmanship for this match, so MJF could play that up a bit more and kind of complete the face turn, however temporary it was, right?
Yeah.
But it was to allow MJF to get more of the positive reactions.
Yeah.
Because he was... He as far as his character goes, kayfabe.
Yeah. He's
in this transitional period where it's like, I've been a heel all my life, and this guy is helping me become a better version of myself. Yeah. Maybe I am a face. Maybe
I do like people. Maybe I am
exactly. And Adam Cole, not being super arrogant Adam Cole, but less kind of like showing out, less of those babyface style of to gauge reactions as far as I was looking at it. Yeah,
that makes sense.
Yeah. But you know what? This match was really good. Yeah, for the drama.
Yeah, for the drama. Yeah.
And I don't know how it came through, by the way, when you were watching it live. But there's things that commentary could feel, and because you could watch it like certain close-ups and stuff like when MJF had the title and he was thinking of when MJF had the ring and he was thinking of punching Adam Cole with it.
Yeah.
And then other stuff where MJF is like, I'm gonna go back on my heelish ways, but not, you know.
Yeah. Like, because we didn't have commentary, obviously being there, and I haven't watched this match back.
Yeah.
It was. You could tell what was going on, like from being there. Like, you didn't need announcers to sort of tell you what was going on.
Yeah. This is where like MJF was wanting to tombstone Adam Cole onto the announcer's desk, and then he kind of put them down, and he went away, and then Adam Cole used that as a distraction to actually part drive MJF through the tables.
Yeah, it was hilarious.
Which is why I'm saying they kind of like they're both twinning in the opposite directions.
Yeah.
Without going full either.
Yeah, they both want to be their natural selves, being dicks, but they weren't. Yeah.
Even though you would think that Adam Cole coming into this is more supposed to be the face and MJF is the heel, they kind of crossed.
Yeah.
But not too far.
No. So it worked in a way.
Yeah, and then they did the double clothesline spot. And clothesline don't pin nobody, but somehow they did, yeah. And what they did was have both arms on each other's bodies. So the ref counted double free count, which is like, logically speaking, that's never happened before, so why? No. But it's probably the power of their double clotheslines, which they've perfected.
Yeah, which they've mastered over the years. Well, over the couple of weeks. I'm not going to say years.
Yeah. And logically, why would the referee count like that anyways?
Yeah, because it was super quick as well. I was like, that was a bit weird.
Yeah, maybe because there was 2 pins going on, he counted twice as fast.
Yeah, probably.
Anyways, the Adam Cole, like last time, because they had the 30-minute match, and Adam Cole asked for 5 more minutes, and then MJF's like, nah.
He's like, nah, dog. Yeah.
Here, he asked for 5 more minutes, and then MJF took the mic and said, no, we're not doing 5 minutes. We're doing this until we get an effing winner.
Yep.
And I was like,
you just got fined $50,000 for that, but hey.
Yeah. He on the mic didn't even bleep it out because probably didn't even have the time. And if you rewatch this match, that's when you're probably going to get the bleep in.
Yep. Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then Roderick Strong showed up to try and Roderick Strong came in there. I am Adam Cole's best friend, but he's actually a rejected boyfriend.
Yeah. Jilted lover. Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, what is going on here, right? I was like in my head just going, yeah. This freeway love fest.
Yeah, so awkward. Like, oh, this just feels weird. I feel awkward for you.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
But he came in his neck brace, which actually added to the level of comedy as well.
Yeah. Still off like X amount of weeks.
Yeah, and he's trying to help Adam Cole win, even though he's trying to make Adam Cole cheat. Yes, we're going to use those innuendos.
Yeah.
Cheat on MJF and cheat to win the title. But yeah. And Adam Cole did not go to the dark side.
No.
Yeah. So, there was a funny chair spot as well.
Oh, yeah, that bit was funny. Yeah.
Yeah, the ref went down. MJF grabbed the chair and he's going to hit Adam Cole with it, but then he's like, I'm not going to hit my friend with it. So then he throws the chair to Adam Cole.
Yeah.
And Adam Cole throws it back to MJF, and they just keep on going until Adam Cole throws it back and he lies down on the ground because he thinks the referee's going to rouse him and be like, oh, he's going to get disqualification. Yeah. Which wouldn't make sense, by the way, because then he wouldn't win the title.
No. That's why I was like, this is a bit, okay, sure.
Yeah. And then MJF just shrugs and he puts the chair over. He opens the chair, puts it over his head, and lies on the floor. Right?
Yeah. You're like, oh. Okay.
Like, and then Adam Cole's like completely puzzled. Like, what? No. And this is when the referee's getting up and he's like, wait a minute. I didn't see nothing, but something sus is happening, right?
Yeah.
And Adam Cole's like, no, nothing happened. And then MJF tried to do a roll-up pin.
Yeah.
Which Adam Cole kicked out of. But yeah. MJF wins with an inside cradle. Yeah. Like after what happened?
Wait, what did happen?
Yeah.
Something happened, obviously.
Yeah.
But I can't remember what it was. I
Yeah.
remember.
So, some sort of shenanigans happened.
What was shenanigans? It was a clean roll up pin, realistically, because nothing like no like low blow or anything. It was just, it was a decisive. Yeah, was it?
I would say it was decisive enough considering MJF.
Yeah, it wasn't like dirty or anything. Anyone cheated. It was he got the roll up. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and then after that, Adam Cole's disheartened, and he's like, what's it called? MJF comes with the Ring of Honor tag titles, and he goes, here you go. We're still friends, right?
Yeah.
And then what happens is Adam Cole throws the title away because he's bitter, right? He's upset and he's bitter, and then MJF swears at him again, which the mic catches, so he got another fine, clearly.
Yep.
Oh, you never even cared about the thingamajig. You only cared about what's it called? You only cared about yourself. We're never friends, were we? And stuff like that.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I didn't hear that bit, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, you could. Yeah. You
obviously. Yeah.
Well, he was loud enough for the mic, the camcorder to catch, not loud enough for the entire world to catch.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then kind of embraced, don't they?
Yeah. Oh no! What happened at the end? Yeah, Adam Cole tried to hit it. He was supposed to. Roderick Strong was telling Adam Cole to hit MJF with the title, and then Adam Cole kind of can't bring himself to do it, and then he gets inside cradled.
That was it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Roger Strong's walks off looking upset because his friend betrayed him.
Yeah.
And then the Kingdom are there, hugging him, saying, "They're there, Roderick. They're there."
Yeah.
Our plan is still working. And
And then Adam Cole and MJF kind of do the Golden Lovers hug.
Yeah.
They are best friends after all. They're still the tag champions
for now. Yeah.
The friendship won over gold.
Yeah.
Though I do believe the Ring of Honor, the Hardys are the next challenges for the Ring of Honor Tag Team Championships. I think they mentioned that.
Because I know last week the Hardys fought Aussie Open. I think that was a tag team title match. I don't actually know if it was for the title or what, but I can't remember.
Yeah. So, what did your friend think of that final match? Because that's something.
Oh, he really loved it. He loved it. He didn't know who to cheer for. He's like, okay, I don't know who to cheer for because both their entrances were pretty epic. Because I don't know who I'm cheering for. So I was like, just follow your heart, man. Just follow your heart. And he just cheered for both these guys. It's like, so it was. He enjoyed it. I was like, he wants to go again next year. So I was like, yeah, we'll go next year. Because that's what Tony Khan said afterwards when he went off. Yeah, he went, yeah, we're coming back next year, bank holiday weekend. I was like, oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah, I will say all the matches were entertaining.
Yeah,
mostly to a degree. Most of them were what you expected, and they were all entertaining.
Yes.
And then they in the aftermath. The what's it called? The media scrum.
Yeah.
So the match is announced for All Out, which is next week.
Next week, Sunday. Yeah.
Yeah. Luchasaurus versus Darby Allin for the TNT Championship, which makes sense, by the way, considering how this match went.
Yeah.
But I don't think that Darby Allin will win the title, if only because Christian Cage is going to come out with it, and he's pretending it's his, so he ain't going to let go of it, even if someone else is wrestling to defend it.
Yeah.
I think there'll be shenanigans afoot in that match.
Yeah, there will be.
Miro versus Hobbs. Would that get announced?
Yeah, that got announced. Yeah, because
at least Miro's coming back to do stuff, right?
They had a little bit on the pre-show as well with that, where Hobbs come out, slagged off England, and then Miro came out. And it set up the match. They said the match there themselves, so yeah. Which is weird. I don't know why they didn't show it on TV, but yeah.
Chris Statlander there versus Ruby Soho for the TBS champion. See, what I do like, by the way, is some people that didn't get a spotlight in All In get a spotlight in All Out.
Yeah.
However, next time they probably shouldn't run the shows too close to each other.
No, it's kind of.
But it does give you a chance to put specific people on specific cards.
Yeah.
So you don't need to have like everyone. Everyone who missed out, you can actually build a secondary card, not a secondary card, but another card without them.
Yeah.
Even though we are getting some of the same people.
Yeah.
Orange Cassidy for the AEW International Championship versus Penta or John Moxley, because they're going to have their match on Dynamite. Yeah. How do you think that's going to go?
We won't have a winner, and there'll be a triple threat problem.
Oh, okay, it probably makes the most sense because then whoever loses can be protected.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Because I'm not sure if Orange Cassidy is going to be able to beat John Moxley.
No. Nah.
Yeah. But it would be more 50-50 with Penta. However, Penta, I don't know if he's going to beat John Moxley either.
No.
So yeah, your idea is probably the best way to go.
Yeah, it makes sense. Get more people on the card as well. Yeah.
And especially if they're battered from now.
Yeah.
And Orange Cassidy's been selling that he's a fighting champion.
And his days are numbered. Yeah.
Yeah. And Kenny Omega versus Kanishige Takeshita.
Yeah.
Which, yeah. Who you think is going to win that?
My heart says Kenny, but I think Takeshita's going to win. Makes kind
of
sense.
Okay. How would in that case?
I don't know. It won't. It might be clean. I don't know.
I think it's one of those things where the final bit of the feud probably should be Takeshita winning.
Yeah.
Clean. So you can win dirty a bit earlier on, but
yeah. That could happen.
Unless you're going to get interference from other people, which generally AEW doesn't do.
No. But
unless there's another feud happening as well, like they only do it to further other stuff rather than to protect people.
Yeah. So we'll see. But yeah, I don't think Kenny's going to win. I don't see the point of Kenny winning anyway at the moment.
Okay. Fair enough.
Because where does it go after that?
Yeah. But you're looking forward to All Out, considering how close All In they are in proximity to each other. Or you think they're going to be like beaten up and too battered to do certain things?
Yeah, I think it'll be alright. It's kind of like a 2-night WrestleMania when you think about it, but just a week apart. When you think about it, it's just a week apart. So, or the 2-day Wrestle Kingdoms when that used to be 6-man tags in the first night, and then, So I'm looking forward to it. Should be entertaining.
I thought they were going to build to Claudio versus Eddie Kingston for the Ring of Honor Championship again. It'd be the second time.
It would be, isn't it? Yeah. Or
title versus but this time Eddie Kingston also being the NJPW Strong Champion.
Yeah, so it could be a title versus title thing.
Yeah.
Well,
Claudio's had that title for a decently long time as well, but Ring of Honor champions are usually have very long runs with it. Yeah. When I say very long, I mean they're decent. They quite like at least half a year and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
You get some 300-day title reigns. Samoa Joe had it for 600 days or something like that, you know. So
we shall see.
Yeah. Okay, that closes up us for this episode of Trip Around the Multiverse. I believe.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
So I have been the hometown hero who comes out to songs that probably cost way too much to license. Kyle Charles.
Wait. I think Will Ospreay bought his own song though.
No, I'm talking about him.
Oh, you're talking about Sting?
Nah. Saraya.
Oh, okay. All right. Yep.
Because that cost a pretty penny. They're probably never going to use that again. So yeah, you know.
Well, they use Final Countdown, so.
Yeah, but that's like not one-off, but like only like big time events they ever use it.
Yeah, it's true. It is true.
It's too expensive. That's not one of the expensive songs to license.
Yeah, and I'm the man who scissored with 2 other men. See why, John?
And Thank you for listening to us talk about AEW All In 2023. And while you're at it, please don't forget to give us a 5-star rating on the audio podcast apps wherever you listen to. Also, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. There's some fun stuff up there, like gameplay videos, whatnot. Also, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. You can follow us on Instagram and Twitter. All the places where you can find us will be linked down in the bottom, in the comment section, or description bit. And until next time, guys, thank you for taking a trip with us around the multiverse. Bye.